A thunder of jets in an open sky, a streak of gray, and a cheerful...
A loop, a whirl, and a vertical climb, and once again, you'll know it's time for the adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and friends.
Starring that supersonic speedster, Rocket J. Squirrel, with his pal Bullwinkle the Moose, and a host of others.
Hurry, Bullwinkle! The show's about to start!
I'm coming as fast as I can.
Wave to the people!
Yay!
Now what are you doing?
Signing autographs. Let's see. John Smith.
But your name is Bullwinkle.
I know, but that's hard to spell.
We're gonna have a lot of fun. Come on and join us.
Sure, there's always room for one more.
Well, Rocky and Bullwinkle reached the Pottsylvanian border with the mooseberry bush still intact. But now it seemed that they were going to be stopped just inches short of their goal. For when their friends, the Moon Men, slipped across the border without proper papers, the Pottsylvanian sentry became so enraged that he raised his weapon and pointed it at our heroes.
Hey, now, that thing might be loaded.
Might be. Is loaded.
Stand back, Rocky. I'll protect you. Oh, they got me. Goodbye, Rocky.
Where are you going?
I'm going west. Where do you think?
Yeah, but you weren't hurt.
I'm not?
No, look.
Sure enough, on the other side of the border stood Cloyd, the Moon Man, with his trusty Scrooch gun.
Well, somebody got hit.
Sure, look.
It's the sentry. He's been scrooched, froze solid.
Yep.
Come on, Rocky.
What about Vladimir here?
Oh, he'll be all right as soon as he gets unscrewed.
Well, how long will that be?
About 90 minutes. Cloyd, that says years. Oh, so it does. Well, that's certainly one on me.
Yeah, but what do we do with Vladimir?
Just stand him up. Who's going to notice whether a sentry is scrooched or not?
Sure enough, Vladimir remained motionless at his post from that moment on, and he was very happy. Tourists came to have their pictures taken with him. He was written up in Crime, a Pottsylvanian weekly news magazine, and he served as a model for every sentry in the Pottsylvanian army. Eventually, he was promoted to general, retired, and spent his declining years in his old hometown where he became known as the pigeon's best friend. Yes, there was no doubt Vladimir was for the birds. But back to our story.
About time, too.
Well, anyway, we're out of Pottsylvania with a mooseberry bush.
Yeah, let's get it back to the government right away.
Hey, look down there. A ship.
And it's headed our way.
But how are we going to get to it?
You forget, Rocky, we can just fade out here and fade in again down on the ship. Like this. Darn, missed it.
Fortunately, Cloyd's aim was better than Gidney's, and he was able to persuade the captain of the small freighter to pick up our heroes. A short while later, the good ship was steaming across the sea toward America.
Well, Bullwinkle, we're going home at last.
I wish we were.
But you are, Gidney.
Back to the moon? You're giving us the bush?
You can't do that, Rock. This is government property.
Don't worry, Bullwinkle. I'm not going to give him the bush.
Then how the ding-dong you gonna get him home? Moonwise, that is.
Look, Bullwinkle, why does the government want a secret rocket fuel?
So's we can send a American to the moon.
Right. So my plan is obvious.
Well, certainly it's obvious, but what is it?
Simple. We'll make Americans out of Gidney and Cloyd.
And send them to the moon. Well, great. But how do we make Americans out of them? Paint them red, white, and blue?
Nope. I think I got a better way.
Rocky wouldn't have been so optimistic if he had known what was going on at that moment in a press meeting on Capitol Hill.
Just what does your new bill mean, Senator?
Well, you see, right now it's entirely too easy to become an American. This bill's gonna make it tougher.
Now, what do you mean it's easy, Senator?
Well, all you got to do is be born here. This large loophole has got to be plugged up.
Well, how will this new proposal affect Rocky's plans for the Moonmen? Don't miss our next episode, The Washington Whirl, or Rocky Off the Record.
Once upon a time, in the little kingdom of Levittown-on-Thames, there lived a man named Galahad, Harry Galahad, the world's most famous clown.
Retired.
With him lived his wife Bessie and their newborn son. One day, Harry took the infant to be registered with the town clerk.
Have you chosen a name for this child?
Yes, sir.
Sure. Very well.
And before Harry could stop him, the town clerk had written the baby's name in the town register, Sir Galahad.
But that's not his name.
Sorry. No changes allowed in the town register.
What kind of a name is Sir? Everybody will laugh at him.
What were you going to call him?
Arbuthnot.
And so, from that day on, the baby was known as Sir Galahad. Sir's future had already been decided for him by his father.
You're going to be a clown, just like Daddy.
When he was just a toddler, it was drummed into him.
A clown, you're going to be a clown. That's showbiz.
And later, when he would come home from school...
Sir, go to your room, do your clown work.
But though Sir's father tried to develop the boy's interest in clownery, Sir just didn't seem to have his heart in it. For you see, he really wanted to be a knight. Each evening when he went to bed, Sir would dream of being a knight. Or at least he tried to dream of being a knight, but somehow he always wound up as a... you know what. One day, his mother took him on her knee.
Sir, honey, don't you want to follow in Daddy's footsteps? After all, he's a great clown.
You can say that again.
Well, what do you want to be?
Sir was quick to announce his secret ambition.
Knights of the Round Table. You want to be a round table?
A knight. I want to be a knight.
What?
Sure. Knights get to wear armor, Pop. Ride white chargers. Save lovely damsels from dragons.
Wait a minute. You want to ride a charger?
Uh-huh.
Save damsels?
Uh-huh.
But I used to do that 3 times a day in the circus. See, that's showbiz. I'd climb the ladder, they'd throw the water on me. Where'd he go?
Away.
Oh, Bessie, where have we gone wrong?
But that night, something wonderful happened to Sir. As usual, he tried to dream of being a knight, and this time, he made it.
I'm a knight. A knight in shining armor. What? Ho there, looky!
That's lackey.
Oh. Well, anyway, fetch my white charger.
Okay, Prince Valiant.
That's a white charger?
You're a little late at the post. Sir Shoemaker got the last good mount.
And so, Sir Galahad mounted his steed and set off for adventure. He soon found that riding in shining armor was a little harder than it looked. Still, he sought high and low for a damsel in distress, till suddenly...
Help! It's her! My damsel!
As one, horse and rider flew to the rescue.
I hope it's nothing trivial.
Trivial indeed. Just over the hill was a damsel in absolutely the worst kind of distress.
Never fear! Sir Galahad's here!
Well, Sir Galahad set to work to slay the dragon, and this too turned out to be very hard work. Matter of fact, it was just like chopping down a very large tree with a very small axe. But finally, the job was done, and the maiden gazed lovingly at her conquering hero.
You've probably guessed that I'm a princess.
I sort of had a hunch.
And, as you'd expect, when Sir took the princess home, her father, the king, was so impressed that he gave Sir his daughter's hand in marriage.
Well, now that you're one of us, take off your hat to the house.
Yes, Sir had been a hero, but now he was just a relative. The king gave Sir and his bride a down payment on a small place of their own. And before long, there was another little knight to feed, and another, and so on into the nights. Sir's days were taken up with his new duties as lord of the manor, for there were no wars to fight, and his wife frowned on his rescuing any more damsels.
When you finish the dishes, remember the moat needs cleaning.
I should have married the dragon.
Then, 20 years later, much to Sir's delight, another war broke out. His armor didn't fit as well as it might, but still he had to defend the kingdom from threatening invaders. Alone, he sallied forth against overwhelming odds, and because he had fought so bravely, he received a hero's welcome with full military honors. With a start, Sir woke from his dream.
That's a hero's welcome?
The next morning, Sir's parents were still deeply troubled.
Harry, if being a knight is so important to him...
You're right, Mama. A knight he's gonna be. And with our blessing, we'll send him to...
Be a clown, da-da-dum, da-da-dee. Look, one hand, ha-ha-ha-ha!
But, sir, yesterday you wanted to be a knight.
And today you're a clown.
Well, like you always say, that's showbiz.
And now for all you co-eds who wish to become scholars, here's Mr. Know-It-All.
Hello out there, scholarly maids. Today's subject is how to get into the movies without buying a ticket. The first approach is to go directly to the manager and say, "Where's my pass?" Unruffled by that minor setback, we try phase 2, which involves a disguise. Hello there, I'm Flo Ziegfeld. How's my show going tonight? Phase 3. Seeking out the location of the freight elevator, we then proceed down into the basement, where we shall then proceed up to the balcony. That's the deepest basement I ever saw.
Is gate-crashing moose again?
Hello, Mr. Theater Manager. I should like to apply for a job as a usher.
What experience you got?
I've been in the dark most of my life.
Is good enough. Course job don't pay much.
How much?
Bag of popcorn and all ticket stubs you can find.
It's a deal! Donning the usherette's uniform, we then proceed to our post in the mezzanine. Going through a door, we find ourselves... Oop. Wrong door. Hello, Mr. Theater Manager. I took the wrong...
Where's your ticket?
I don't need a ticket. I'm your new usher.
Don't need no new usher. Just hired new usher.
That did it. I wouldn't go in that theater if they gave me the place.
Why not?
I just happened to notice. I've seen this picture 3 times already.
Buenos dias there. Peabody here. I say buenos dias because today Sherman and I are going back to ancient Spain.
The Wayback Machine's all set, Mr. Peabody.
Excellent, Sherman. Then we're off for a visit with the most romantic figure in history, the legendary Don Juan. My Wayback, ingenious invention that it is, deposited Sherman and me in front of a large villa in Seville. I was about to ring Don Juan's doorbell when Sherman glanced up and saw a figure swaying precariously on the railing of the balcony.
It's Don Juan, Mr. Peabody.
Would you be so kind as to move a little to the right? You are standing on my spot.
He's gonna jump.
Wasting not a second, we dashed upstairs.
It will do you no good to try to dissuade me, senors. My mind, she is made up.
But why, Don Juan? Have you had a financial setback?
No.
What is it, then?
Onions.
Onions?
Spanish onions, Bermuda onions, onions. I love them more. And a man who eats onions can hardly be called Spain's greatest lover. He started about 6 weeks ago. A very lovely senorita and I were having a midnight snacks.
Would you care for some onion soup, mi chiquita?
Onion soup? What is onion soup? I took my first taste, and I was hooked. That night, senor, I consumed 54 bowls of onion soup. Needless to say, when it came time to kiss the senorita goodnight. Last week, I attended a bullfight with the very same senorita. Well, it was the same old story. The matador killed 16 bulls. I killed 16 onion rolls. And when it came time to kiss the senorita goodnight...
A tragic tale, Don Juan.
Yes, I know. Well, buenos dias. I jump.
Wait, Don Juan. Why not give them up?
Women?
Onions.
Sherman is right, you know. With perseverance, you could lick this thing.
And Mr. Peabody and I will help you.
Our campaign began with a systematic search of the entire house. We found onions under the rug, in the fruit bowl, and even in the chandelier.
That is the last of them, I swear.
Are you sure?
Positive. And now, if you will excuse me, I shall take a bubble bath.
We disposed of the onions and then quietly entered Don Juan's library.
Shall I light a candle, Mr. Peabody?
Not yet, Sherman. We don't want to alarm our visitor.
Visitor? There's no one here.
There will be. Suddenly, a hooded figure appeared on the balcony.
It's a burglar.
We watched as the dark intruder made his way to a picture on the wall. Behind the picture was a wall safe. Now, Sherman, light the candle.
Who is there?
Don Juan!
I was looking for my bubble bath. I seem to have misplaced that.
Come, Don Juan. You and I both know there are onions inside that wall safe.
See, you are right. Lead me to the balcony. I jump.
Just a moment. I can't see why you should give up onions.
But how can I eat onions and still be a lover?
There is one way. Do you have a date for this evening?
Senor, Don Juan have a date every evening.
Good. Then consume all the onions you wish. Tonight you shall be romantic in spite of them. Don Juan's rendezvous took place in a lush garden on the outskirts of Seville. Due to a small errand, I was the last to arrive.
The senorita's inside waiting for Don Juan, Mr. Peabody.
See, but in my condition, I'm not a fit companion for a skunk.
Then take these.
What is it? Poison?
Never mind what it is. Just take them. Fearing the worst, Don Juan entered the garden and embraced the fair senorita with surprising results.
Oh, Don Juan, you are the greatest lover.
I don't understand, Mr. Peabody. What happened to his onion breath?
It vanished, Sherman, thanks to those pills.
Where'd they come from?
From that pharmacy across the road. The couple who own it, Mr. and Mrs. Gonzalez, were kind enough to fill an original prescription of mine. They did such an admirable job that I'm naming the pills after them.
Gonzalez pills?
No. Their first names are Clara and Phil Gonzalez.
Clara Phil pills, Mr. Peabody?
Clara Phil pills, Sherman. Breathtaking, aren't they?
Well, Rocky's plans for Gidney and Cloyd to become the first Americans on the moon have hit a snag in the person of Senator Fussmusson of the Citizenship Committee.
Too many people are claiming to be Americans. Alaskans, Hawaiians, Californians. It's disgraceful.
Senator Axe to stop moon men.
We'll never get home again.
Nonsense. We're going to teach you to be Americans.
Yeah, time we get finished, you'll look as American as I do.
I'd really rather not.
Bring in our whole library of books, Bullwinkle.
Here they are, Rock. The Farmer's Almanac, the Bobbsey Twins at Camp Wahoo, and my personal bound volume of ghastly comics.
The boys set to work to convert the moon men, Gidney and Cloyd, into typical Americans. Unfortunately, their idea of what an American should know was rather limited.
Okay, Gidney. How many days in September?
30 days has September.
Right. Say you're getting as smart as me.
How do you make fire without matches?
Rub two Boy Scouts together?
No.
Oh, sticks. Rub two sticks?
That's it. Well, Bullwinkle, I guess they're ready to become Americans.
Yep. Sorta gets you right in here, don't it?
Yeah, I'm just quietly proud.
But the next day in Senator Fussmusson's committee room, the moon men didn't make out so well.
If the president doesn't sign a bill, how many days before it becomes a law?
30 days has September, April, June, and November.
Apart from congressional action, how may a bill be introduced?
By rubbing two sticks together?
What?
How are they doing, Bullwinkle?
Oh, they're getting the answers perfect, Rock.
Good.
Only thing is, he keeps asking the wrong questions.
Sure enough, the two moon men were quickly ejected from the committee room, but they didn't seem at all unhappy.
Well, We made it. We'll never be able to thank you enough, Rocky.
What do you mean?
You flunked your exam, didn't you?
Oh, more than that. Senator Fussmusson says we shouldn't even be allowed in the country.
Oh?
So guess what? He's deporting us, sending us back where we came from.
You mean the M-U-N-E moon?
That's right. And of course, there's only one way we can get there.
The mooseberry bush.
You're gonna go by bush? Sounds a little scratchy.
No, Bullwinkle. We'll use the mooseberry bush to make your secret rocket fuel.
Oh, of course. It's been so long, I almost forgot the plot. Well, let's go.
And within a few days, Bullwinkle had whipped up an exact duplicate of his Grandma Moose's fudge cake batter.
Just slip it in this blast chamber, Bullwinkle.
Right.
Of course, all official Washington turned out for the Moonmen's departure. Senator Fussmusson himself bade them goodbye.
Goodbye. Now close the hatch and blast off.
Right.
But when Bullwinkle slammed the hatch closed, he caught the tail of Senator Fussmusson's coat.
10, 9, 8.
What's this? My coat is caught.
6, 5, 4.
Well, take your coat off.
That wouldn't be dignified.
I got it.
3, 2.
Quickly, Rocky zoomed to the president's chair and whispered in his ear.
1, 0. Fire.
Somebody do something.
Very well. Senator Fussmusson, I appoint you the new ambassador to the moon.
And as the crowd cheered, the spaceship bearing Gidney Cloyd and our first interplanetary diplomat zoomed upward and out of sight.
Well, Bullwinkle, you did it again.
Yeah, once the hero, always a hero, I guess.
You said it, Bullwinkle.
Didn't I, though?
And the boys trudged away from the airport and into a brand new adventure. Don't miss the beginning of it in the next chapter of Rocky, the Flying Squirrel.
Well, it looks as if our time is just about run out.
Just enough left to tell him who the sponsor was.
You got the credits, Bullwinkle?
All on this itty-bitty card. Oop.
We're late again, Bullwinkle.
Right.
Bye now. See you next time.